only thing that keeps increasing is we've had 11 theft from autos in the past 10 days. And of those, 9 of those occurred in the Montello Holbrook Terrace area of Trinidad. So that's 9 in that one area. If you live in that area, let your friends know. If you take the extra second, don't leave nothing inside your car. Your car should look like you when you go to a car lot and you want to buy the car, there's nothing inside of it. They're looking for the easy target. That's what they can hit. So if you take that extra second, take the laptop out, take the bag out. Even if you took the laptop out, if you left the bag in there, they're going to think a laptop's in there. It's nothing to them to get a big rock and throw it through your window. Okay, so just take the extra second, clear all that stuff out, and you'll be better off for it. We'll come by and take the report, and we don't want to have to do that. We don't want to have you go through that. So overall, crime is down in the PSA 506. Like I said, our only downfall that we have are the theft from autos. Okay, any questions you guys have for us? Yes, ma'am. What 100 block? 1200 block. 12. That's okay. 1200 block of Holbrook Terrace. Okay.
Let me just speak on that. We just recently received, our Lieutenant Gray is in charge of PSA 506. He just recently submitted a request to our narcotics division that's right here, 2850 New York Avenue. So what we're planning on doing, of course, most of it is going to be, undercover. So the request has been made because not only Holbrook, we got some issues on 11th Place also. That's adjacent to 1600 block of West Virginia Avenue. So we are going to be having some type of operations down there in the near future. Okay.
I just want to report the same problem going on Holbrook Avenue, 1400 block. It's just like very obvious daytime blatant drug dealing about a block and a half away from the brand new children's program. There's a lot of kids out now. The weather's getting nicer. It has.
You talking at Childress right there?
It's at Holbrook and Queen and Levis.
Levis? Right. Okay, that's okay. Took me a year to
So
figure
yeah,
out.
there could be an increased police presence there because there are a couple abandoned properties there as well that they just walk in and out pretty freely.
They use it as a stash spot. I mean, it's blatant.
We actually went over some of those things. The Sarge had a meeting with us today, and
I mean, as I was walking the dog today, I mean, there's people doing it out in front of me, don't care if I'm walking my dog. Cars pull over, they hand the drugs, they hand money, and then they drive away. I mean, it's
what
dangerous.
I can tell you is that we are increasing up the foot patrols, bicycles, and motorcycle patrols through those areas, as well as now narcotics and special investigations are going to be doing undercover operations.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's recent also.
My area of concern probably falls just outside of your PSA, but we've got the same similar kind of very blatant drug activity going on. I'm on the 800 block right of 20th Street.
Okay.
But most of this drug activity that I'm concerned about is happening in the parking lot, or actually sometimes inside of the Food 7 corner store that is like right there. You know, you've got people blatantly dealing drugs daytime, and it's a block away from a school.
Yeah, my apologies that we don't have a representative for your PSA, but I will note that we, you all don't know, we just went through some more transitioning in the department, so now we have new captains here, new lieutenants, so they have to get up to speed on everything. And once one is assigned to you, because you actually don't have a lieutenant assigned to your area right now, they just started yesterday, so we'll make sure I'll get you there. Okay, no problem.
As the former chairperson, well, let me just say this. It's really not the responsibility of the chairperson to make sure that MPD has representatives for everyone, but when I was chair, I ensured that there was a representative from MPD to address every PSA. Our PSA, which is PSA 507, has had significant challenges. There have been several shootings in terms of gunshots. MPD has made arrests in Lyman Place. There were gunshots again in the H Street area. And thankfully, we do have we actually have more officers assigned to PSA 507 than any other PSA, and frankly, I wanna keep it that way, because we deserve it. Finally, there will be a representative from PSA 507 tomorrow at the ANC 5805 community meeting, which will be held from 6 to 7:45 at the Developing Family Center. So I will assure that the omissions that we've heard here will not go forward tomorrow, and we will address the issues. And for the open air drug dealing that's in the 7 food store, I would request that you call the police each and every time you see something, and also call me as well. We have a number of neighbors we formed a network, and we have to make sure that we work together to partner effectively with MPD, because summer is coming, and we don't want to revisit the horrible, horrific crime wave of times past. And we will be asking that PSA 506 also be a part. Well, the commission already voted to put 506 as part of the Summer Crime Initiative, which supports everyone's public safety.
Thank you, MPD, so much.
Thank you. If you have any more questions, can I give you my email just for some? It's TANISA.Thomas@dc.gov. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move into our single member district reports, and then we're gonna take some community concerns. So we're gonna, just as typical, we'll go in order. Again, commissioners, let's keep it to 1 minute a person, please. I'm gonna strictly enforce that for the law on our agenda. So first up is Commissioner Lewis, with 5D01.
I'm choosing to pass my minute.
All right, next up we have 5D02.
So, I have monthly ANC single member district meetings, on the second Saturday of the month. And I just had one this past weekend, and, we had someone come and talk about, opportunities for establishing your own small business, and a couple of other relevant topics that, constituents have asked me to bring people to talk about. My next meeting is taking place May the 14th. And so I welcome people to come out if you are available.
Next up is me from 5D03. So Mr. Jones talked about Pothole Palooza. We had a little bit of a streetlight palooza that may have made DDOT a little crazy in my district, and we've actually had 6 different streetlights repaired within, I believe, 48 hours. So tell the mayor we like paloozas. And I won't go through everything because I see I'm already out of time. We've had a variety of problem properties, in particular anyone who passes Williamsburg Road at Lyman Place. You may have seen that Douglas Development building that has had a ton of graffiti on it. Mr. Milstein was instrumental in getting that graffiti removed, and you'll notice that even though it's vacant, it looks much better than it did before. So just want to publicly acknowledge him for taking care of that. And then lastly, there will be an S&D meeting that I will be doing. So not a single member district, it'll be a 2-member district. I'll be co-hosting that with Commissioner Bucknell. So save the date for that for anyone who's here from 5D03. That meeting will be on Saturday, April 23rd at 11 a.m. That's my time. 5D04.
5D04. Again, as Commissioner Robinson said, we are going to have a combined ANC meeting on April the 23rd at 11 o'clock. It's going to be at 2109 Maryland Avenue.
5D05.
Again, we're having a single member District 5D05 meeting. I see several of my constituents here. I expect that you will come tomorrow to the meeting to get detailed information regarding the development project that is proposed for 17th and Benning Road Northeast. We have a new representative for Acadia Food Market. They will be on the agenda, and you will have a public safety report. There will be an opportunity for residents to address their concerns. Specifically, I've received a lot of concerns regarding rumble strips and speed humps and various petitions, so we'll have those available for citizens tomorrow. And that's again the Developing Family Center across from the Safeway, 801 17th Street, Northeast, 6 to 7:45 p.m.
Commissioner Bugs from 5D06 is not here, so 5D07, Commissioner Lee.
Well, good evening. I just have one update. The project is supposed to go on 1164 Bladensburg Road. It's still in development, but there's some changes. And I'll be meeting with them tomorrow to get those changes and bring up to date of what they're proposing. Nothing general, he just said they had some changes. They're still in the planning stages. So I'll give an update once I speak to them, but also with you guys and the fellow commissioners. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, commissioners. So we'll now move into our community concerns. I think we are back on track in terms of agenda. So the community concerns, we'll have up to roughly 5 minutes for this. We may go a little bit over, but this is your time to share any other issues that we may not have already heard about that need addressing. We have Mr. Jones from the mayor's office, and he has the magic path to getting lots of things done. Won't promise the whole world, Mr. Jones, but if you do have a concern, we do just ask that you share your name and the address and location of the issue, as well as give us a sense of what's going on, and either the appropriate commissioner will only follow up, or if Mr. Jones volunteers himself, he may do that as well. So we're going to start in 1 minute, and I'm just going to go in order that I see hands. I saw one. And actually, if you actually would like to address something so that we can stay on task, go ahead and raise your hand now. So I have one person here. Is there anyone else that wants to raise a community concern? 2, 3, 4. One more. All right, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, ma'am.
So my basic concern is sort of neighborhood litter pickup and beautification. It's a huge issue. With summer coming up, I'm expecting to see more of it. Some of the people in my neighborhood, specifically on my block, I live on the 800 block of Twin Street, and my name is Sadell Moore, have organized a monthly neighborhood cleanup. I'd really appreciate it if anyone else in the room is interested in participating in cleanups. You know, if you could reach out, you know, I'll be standing around, and I'd really like to organize just a group of neighbors who can kind of go out consistently on a monthly basis, just for a few hours, and try to help keep the litter issue under control. I know that DPW has some programs to help, and so if anyone is aware of any kind of way that, you know, the city could help with litter beautification, you know, I'm definitely very interested in, you know, working with my neighbors.
Well, Ms. Moore, thank you for joining in this effort to keep our neighborhood clean. We've been having community cleanups now for years. We will continue to have them. We have many partners, including DPW and the neighbors. And certainly we've had neighbors that have come over from Trinidad to assist. So if there is anyone who wants to, we're having these community cleanups ongoing. I very, very strongly believe that cleanliness supports public safety, so we can't clean enough. So the neighborhood looks pretty good. I was out last night, it looks pretty good, but it won't stay that way. So we should continue to focus on Bladensburg Road, 19th Street, and 8th Street.
Mr. Jones, if you want to respond.
Your street looks okay, with the exception of some of the apartment buildings. So that's where I'd like to see the focus, and thank you.
Mr. Jones.
Just briefly, first of all, I want to say thank you for doing that as a neighbor and a resident. We can't thank you enough because the government can only do so much. One thing I do want to talk with you about and others that are interested is actually adopting your block. So you can do that. In my other role, I have another role with our Office of Clean City. And so you can adopt your block. We also provide some of the things that you need, like bags and things like that. So let's talk offline, but if others in the neighborhood, you want to adopt your block and you want to be involved in that way in terms of cleanliness, let's talk about that so you can be a part of that as well, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Number 2. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Molly Ahern. I live on 1500 block in Queen. I would want to make kind of a suggestion or comment that either my ANCs was interested. I know that there are a lot of apartment buildings being refurnished and developed on all of Holbrook, really, and already so far parking is starting to become a problem. So I wanted to know what the process was in terms of getting zoned parking up and down Holbrook. I think that can also help, quite frankly, with a little bit of the drug trafficking and drug dealing issue that's happening on Holbrook, because a lot of the cars with Maryland and Virginia license plates that are just parked there for days and days and hours, taking up space of residents. So I think could be twofold, you know, as more people keep moving in, parking's gonna become more scarce, so I just didn't know if anyone had tried to do that on Holbrook before.
So what it requires for getting parking zoning, you have to get a petition signed by 25 of the neighbors on the street.
Okay.
And so if you, well, you're on Queen Street, but if the neighbors on Holbrook wanna say, we want zone parking, they would have to fill that petition out, and they can work with me.
Okay. Alright, well then I'll try and
Commissioner,
get.
it's actually 75% of the neighbors on your block. So let's say if you're on Queen and you're trying to get zoned, it's 75% of the neighbors
On Queen.
on that particular block that you're looking to do. And then also, with that, you do need to work with your ANC commissioner. But even if you do a petition, there is no guarantee that your block will actually receive zone parking. Because there could be other reasons why, from the district Department of Transportation, as to why you would not
So
receive.
does it have to just be on Holbrook, because for instance, some of the apartments that are being refinished, it looks like one of them's gonna be like 8 different apartments.
So what
They're
I,
facing Childress, like they're on the corner of Holbrook and Childress and.
so to briefly answer that question, one, we can talk offline, but two, and talk with your commissioner, but there is an actual packet that you'll need to fill out.
Okay.
And you can do that as a champion in your neighborhood. We love neighborhood champions, neighborhood folks. And you'll have to get the neighbors to sign, and so the resident owners. So, and we can give you that information. No problem.
Thank you. Read number 3.
I just basically wanted to come out and represent, I have a property, my mom's house on.
Can you speak up, please?
I'm sorry, I have
Thank
a
you.
property on 1832 Providence Street, Winties, residence that I grew up in over 3 decades. My concern is to just make sure that, some things that are being placed in the community, are being brought to the community first, to be able to speak upon, so that we can be able to make a decision on, you know, if those things will be valuable in our community. I know we have a lot of development that's happened in Ivy City, some great development. I might add, I mean, with the organic market, the Hex building, it's been tremendous, work that's being done in the community, and even with the new, RP coming about with Carmel, I know we helped fight for that. I'm the president for the Civic Association in Ivy City, and I wanna make sure that, that things that I bring forth can come to the community first, because we had so many, lawsuits with the mayor, things like that. And if a time comes, we will mobilize if we need to. I know you probably don't see a lot of people coming out, but because I was born and raised, grew up in the community, it is not hard for me to be able to get with the community residents that will mobilize on a cause that we feel as though is beneficial for us in the community. So I just wanna make sure that is being worked, because that was one of our issues in the lawsuit, that it wasn't worked properly due diligence to the community first before being placed in the community.
Thank you for raising that. Commissioner Elizabeth, briefly respond.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Swanson, for coming out. You've been a champion for the neighborhood for 40 years, like you mentioned. I know she could not stay until the end of the agenda, but she did come here publicly because she knew that the cultivation center was on the agenda. And can you share a little about how the neighborhood opposes it? We opposed it since the inception, and we don't want it to stay. I believe we do have one that is supposed to. That's the one we're discussing. Okay, yeah, it was one that was supposed to come to the community, and I know we were fighting against clusters, because at some point it was about to be clusters of them coming into one community. And although it's zoned to industrial land use, we have worked with, with our council member, as well as our ANC, to even talk about how we can go in and try to fight for some changes in the community, because like I said, I've been in the community since kindergarten, literally. I won't tell my age, but. For that. And so, I just would really, it would be beneficial to bring it to our attention so that we can address it. We know that some of these centers are gonna come out, they're gonna come, in different communities, but just let us have a voice, because we opposed it before when Montel, Williams was here and things like that. I actually misconstrued, because we can rise up as giants when we really have to.
Thank you for raising it. Alright, and number 4.
My name's Ernest Bailey. I live on 17th and Minnan. This is my first time at one of these meetings. I came to Commissioner Henderson because I emailed you last month, not that we haven't been here, not having been aware of email issues, to propose an agenda item. So at this point, would it be best for me to describe the agenda item or to just talk?
No, we'll talk after the meeting, and certainly you're welcome to attend the meeting tomorrow, and we can flesh out your concern. Okay, then we can talk after the meeting, but thank you so much. And sorry you had that difficulty. It would have been nice if I would have been able to get your message.
Alright, thank you very much. We're going to move on to our requested presentations. And just as a reminder for everyone here, these are presentations that various community members have requested or a presentation that the commission has requested. That's how items get on this part of the agenda, and that's been consistent all year. So first up, we have, I believe Ms. Robinson is still here from the Board of Elections. Oh, we didn't meet before. What is your name?
My name is Shirley Jackson.
All right, nice to meet you, Ms. Jackson. You have the floor for 9 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so we're gonna just give an update, on some of the changes that have occurred for the upcoming election at the DC Board of Elections. Again, my name is Shirley Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry. Sure, pardon me. Let me stand behind you. Pardon me. Please. I'm from the DC Board of Elections. Again, my name is Shirley Jackson. And I'm just gonna give you an update on a couple of changes that have occurred in our office. And some of the changes that have occurred for the voters for this upcoming election cycle. So what, we do have new board members who have come on board in our agency to help us govern our office. Our chairman is Michael Bennett. Michael D. Gill is a member of the board, and then we also have Ms. Donna Marie Lewis, who has also come on board. Tamara Robinson, who one of the commissioners mentioned, is our public affairs and voter outreach specialist. If for any media questions or concerns that you may have for our office, you want to direct those to Ms. Margarita Mikhailova. And of course, I'm assisting, again, my name is Shirley Jackson. We have hired 30 ward coordinators to help us with voter outreach, because we know that there are a number of changes that we want to expose the voters to and make sure they update when they come to the polling place for this upcoming election cycle. We will be conducting 2 elections, the June 14th primary election and then the November 8th general election. One of the things that we're trying to do when we go out to these polling or our outreach events, we want to make sure that voters are registered and know the deadlines for registration, confirm their registration status, know their polling place and the hours, know the identification requirements, understand provisional voting, check the accessibility of the polling place, consider voting early, and understand absentee voting requirements and with the candidates that will be listed on the ballot. Again, as I indicated, we will be conducting 2 elections this upcoming election cycle, June 14th primary and our November 8th general election. Voters who vote in the primary must be registered with a party affiliation, because the district conducts a closed primary, so voters must be registered with the Democrat, Republican, or DC State and Green Party in order to vote the election, the primary election. The offices on the ballot, it's poor lighting, so I have to have my glasses on. For the primary election, we will have the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party only on the ballot, the delegate to the United States, the delegate to the United States House of Representatives, the at-large member for the district council, board member for the council for wards 2, 4, 7, and 8, the United States shadow representative, national committee man, national committee woman for the Republican Party only, and the local party committee member for ward chairperson for the Republican Party only on the primary ballot. On just a short mention of the November general election, I know it's not here yet, but we still want to remind folks that we will be conducting 2 elections for this upcoming cycle. And that, again, the candidates on the ballot will be the president, the the delegate to the delegate to the United States House of Representatives, the at-large member of the council, 2 seats, ward member for the council, wards 2, 4, 7, and 8, United States Representative, which is a shadow seat, the at-large member of the State Board of Education, ward members for the State Board of Education, wards 2, 4, 7, and 8, and our advisory neighborhood commissioners. Some of the dates that we would like for voters to be reminded of: voter registration applications by mail must be postmarked no later than May the 16th. Voter registration applications submitted online must be submitted no later than May the 27th. Voter registration applications submitted by mail that are not postmarked must be submitted the day before an election, which is May the 23rd. Voter registrations submitted in person to our office must be submitted by the 18th day, and that day is May 23rd. We will be conducting early voting. We have 9 locations that we will open for early voting for this upcoming election cycle, and we do have one Sunday included in that schedule, and that's new because before we was not open on Sunday, doing Saturday to Saturday, but now we will have a Sunday included in the day. And the first location is 1 Judiciary Square, and that's our office location, and we're located at 441 4th Street Northwest, and that's Judiciary Square. We're located on the Metro, and Metro does open the 4th Street side on weekends, so that anyone who wants to access our location on the weekends can't access the Metro. The dates for early voting will be held at Judiciary Square. We're open 2 weeks, May 31st through June the 11th. And then the other sites will open up on June 4th through Saturday, June the 11th, in wards 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. In Ward 6, we will open 2 locations. I have the early voting locations listed here on our back table, back with these ladies back here. We also have some polling places that have changed or we had to move for this upcoming election because we are trying to make sure that we are really accessible at all of our sites. So there are some polling places that had to change for this upcoming election. We have the list back on the table along with the other 143 polling places listed.
Ms. Jackson, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yes, I'm out of time. Okay, and so, thank you. If you need any additional information, we're back here and we can answer any questions for you.
Thank you so much. Next up, Mr. Moore, and I know Mr. Moore is here because he introduced himself from DC Streetcar.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm excited to be up here to stand in front of you and say that the DC Streetcar has launched. We had a really successful launch on February 27th. Beat all our projections for the first few months of ridership, so I'm pretty happy to stand up here and say that to you. Just wanted to come today, haven't been in a while, let you know that we do have some information on the back table, and if you need any of these How to Ride brochures, please let me know. I have plenty of them. I also wanted to remind everyone to park inside the line so you can avoid towing and fines, because that's a continuing issue. Also wanted to let you know that we're having a streetcar social on tomorrow evening at Red Rocks on 8th Street from 5 to 7 p.m. So come out and celebrate everything streetcar with us, and definitely looking forward to having a good time tomorrow. Just wanted to note, I was supposed to have a representative with me from DDOT today, but he was called away to a different meeting, so I wasn't able to have someone here today, but I'm looking forward to having a DDOT person with me at your next meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Marietta Tomas, and I have a mother who's handicapped, and she has taken the opportunity to ride the streetcar, and one of the things that she expressed to me is that the doors are not staying open long enough to give her the ability to get on.
Okay.
And so the door closed on her 3 times. I don't know how many doors there are, but I think she had to walk up to one and then it closed. And I don't know the outcome, but she did get on it, but it made her very uncomfortable.
Okay. Would you do me a favor and email that concern so I can make sure it gets routed up to the right people? I'm going to make a note of it, but if you can send that to info@dcstreetcar.com, we can definitely make sure that that issue gets handled. As well, I will also make sure that that folks in the chain understand and
Info
at dcstreetcar.com. It's Sean, S-E-A-N. Last name is Moore, M-O-O-R-E. Any other questions? All right. Annette?
Mr. Moore,
Yes, sir.
Who's paying for the streetcar social at Red Rocks? Where is that money coming from?
The streetcar social, basically, we're not providing any food. It's more of Red Rocks is gonna have specials and things of that nature. It's, for us, it's just the streetcar outreach folks will be there. We'll have, just like some celebratory stuff.
So it's a pay your own way.
Yeah, it's a pay your own way. Yeah, we're not providing food, but Red Rocks has extended some great specials in support.